Mr. President, dear colleagues, good afternoon. Today, I rise on a matter of personal and collective privilege with the hope that the heartbeat and cries of the people from Davao City be heard in this august chamber. Mr. President, Article 2, Section 4 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution provides that the prime duty of the government is to serve and protect the people. Out of all the government agencies, it is the Philippine National Police, which is known by the public to have the motto to serve and protect. Its mandate is to serve and protect the people through enforcement of all laws and ordinances. Napaka-importante na maging tapat ang PNP sa kanilang tungkulin, panindigan at mag-implementa ng rule of law para sa mas maayos at matiwasay na komunidad. Ngunit, sa pagtupad sa kanilang tungkulin, importante rin na ginagampanan nila ito ng may respeto sa human rights, hindi lamang ng ilan, kundi ang bawat miyembro ng komunidad. Sinumpa ang tungkulin ng ating PNP na magpatupad ng batas para protektahan ang buhay at ari-arian ng mga mamamayan. Ngunit, paano kung sa pagpatupad ng batas ay nalalagay sa panganib ang buhay at ari-arian ng mga tao? Ito po ang hinaing ng mga miyembro ng Kingdom of Jesus Christ, mga residente sa QOJC compound, pati na rin ang mga estudyante at propesor ng Jose Maria College Foundation Incorporated of Davao City. On August 24, 2024, around 2,000 cops from Police Regional Office 10, 11, 12, and 13 were deployed to implement the warrant of arrest against the leader of QOJC, Pastor Kibuloy, and 5 others. At this point, I want to make on record that we are not questioning the authority of the PNP to implement valid warrants of arrest issued by a court of competent jurisdiction. We are not questioning their desire to fulfill their mandate to arrest the person subject of the warrants of arrest. Ang tanging tanong po ng mga taga-QOJC, Mr. President, ay bakit kailangang mag-deploy ng higit 2,000 na pulis mula sa iba't ibang region para mahuli ang 6 na katao na miyembro ng QOJC? Kailangan ba na pag-implementa ng warrant ay magkampo sa loob at labas ng QOJC compound ang ating mga kapulisan? Tama ba ang ginagawang pagsasagawa ng search operation sa loob ng QOJC compound kahit wala namang na-issue ang korte na search warrant? Ano ang maaring gawin ng mga miyembro ng QOJC para maprotektahan ang kanilang mga karapatan? Saan pa sila pwedeng humingi ng tulong para matigil ang tila panggigipit sa kanila? Excessive force. Now, the alleged excessive number of deployed police officers, as a former chief of the Philippine National Police, I have not encountered an operation to implement a warrant of arrest wherein we deployed forces close to 2,000 people. To compare, the PNP also implemented a warrant of arrest against Zulkifli here, also known as Marwan. Marwan was listed among America's most wanted terrorists with $5 million bounty on his alleged involvement in a series of deadly bomb attacks in the Philippines. In the enforcement of the warrant against Marwan, the PNP only deployed 44 members of Special Action Force and more than 200 police officers as backup. Allow me to do the math. Less than 300 police officers to enforce a warrant against Marwan, who was then protected by more than 1,000 heavily armed Bangsamoro Islamic Federal Fighters and private armed groups around the so-called SPMS box, which includes Mama Sapano, versus 2,000 to arrest Pastor Kibuloy. These almost 300 police officers deployed to arrest an international terrorist constitute less than 15% of the deployed police force to arrest Pastor Kibuloy. Kaya ang tanong ng mga miyembro ng KOJC, mas mapanganib ba si Pastor Kibuloy kaysa isang most wanted terrorist? Mas mapanganib ba ang Davao City compared doon sa Mama Sapano na napakaraming umiikot ng mga armadong tao? Mr. President, wala na po sanang naging kaguluhan kung naging mahinahon lamang ang pagsisilbi ng warrant. Kung ang objective ay arestuhin o dakpin si Pastor Kibuloy, maari naman po na maisagawa ito ng mapayapa. Minsan po, kahit gaano kalinis ang hangarin, kung ang pamamaraan naman na ginamit para makamit ito ay marahas, nagiging mali po ito at hindi katanggap-tanggap. Maihalintulad po ito sa isang konsepto na madalas gamitin sa ating mga korte. Kung illegal na nakalap ang ebidensya, hindi ito nagiging admissible sa korte o ang tinatawag na fruit from a poisonous tree. Pasintabi po sa mga pamunuan ng PNP PRO 11. Pero tila isinusubo nyo sa kapahamakan ang ating mga pulis. Inaakay ninyo sila sa bangin na maaring magdulot ng kamatayan sa kanilang mga promising careers. Kung hindi po sana naging overacting o overkill ang pagsisilbi ng warrant, ay nanatili lamang within the standard at nanatili lamang within the standard operating procedure, wala sanang gulo. The overwhelming number of police camping in front of the gates of KOJC with the simple goal of serving a warrant will naturally create fear and tension. It has created an atmosphere of terror, the same feeling of insecurity that our law enforcement agencies vowed to wage war against. PNP camping. Simula noong madaling araw ng August 24, 2024 hanggang sa oras na ito, nanatili ang pagkakampo ng mga pulis sa loob at labas ng KOJC compound. Gaano karami po bang bilang ng mga pulis ang kailangang i-deploy para arestuhin ang isang tao? Kinakailangan ba na magkampo pa ang mga pulis ng ilang araw? Gamit ang resources ng pamahalaan para lamang sa isang simpleng operasyon na pagsisilbi ng warrant. Ang pagtitirik ng kampo ng ating kapulisan sa tarangkahan ng KOJC ay hindi lamang nakapagdudulot ng matinding abala sa kasapian ng KOJC, kundi maging sa mga komunidad na nakapalibot dito. Baka sabihin ng iba, ang babaw naman kung ang inireklamo lamang ay ang abalang dulot ng operasyon. But no, Mr. President, there is more to this than just inconvenience. Higit sa abala na dulot ng kaguluhan na ito, ang mas nakaalarma ay kung nagawa ng kapulisan natin na magkumpulan sa isang lugar ng ilang araw. Paano na lamang po ang kanilang mga sariling mga area of jurisdiction? Sino na po ang naiwan doon para makapagbigay ng serbisyo publiko? Excuse me. Sa mga mamamayan na nangangailangan ng kanilang tulong. Tila napaka-espesyal naman po ni Pastor Kibuloy para pagtutuunan siya ng halos buong puwersa ng kapulisan ng 4 na police regional offices ng Pilipinas. Halos po ang buong Mindanao na po. Puwersa ng buong Mindanao andoon na sa premises ng Kingdom of Jesus Christ, Mr. President. Illegal search. As far as the KOJC members are concerned, there is no valid search warrant issued to conduct a search inside their compound. The only judicial process issued by the court are the warrants against Pastor Quiboloy and 5 others. Due to lack of a valid search warrant, QOJC are claiming that searches made and being made by the PNP inside the QOJC compound are illegal and unconstitutional. They claim that PNP cannot and should not claim that such search is incidental to a lawful arrest. They anchor their stand on the established rule in the numerous Supreme Court decisions that the law requires that there first be a lawful arrest before a search can be made. The purpose cannot be reversed. Kung hindi pa nahuhuli o naaresto si Pastor Quiboloy o ang ibang miyembro ng QOJC na subject ng warrant of arrest, bakit nagsasagawa ng search ang PNP sa compound ng QOJC? May bago na po bang alituntunin ang PNP sa pag-iimplementa ng warrant of arrest? Tayo po mga pulis, isama ko na po ang aking sarili, ay mga takapagpatupad ng batas. Hindi po tayo mga alipin nito, pagkat tayo po ay may mga isip at puso. Higit sa lahat, hindi tayo mga kasangkapan na mga nakakataas sa atin na maaari tayong ituring na mga tao-tauhan sa ngalan ng batas para sa kung anumang motibo nila. Ang tunay na adhikain ng mga sumulat ng batas ay ang pangalagaan ang kapakanan ng bawat isa, ang mapaglingkuran at mabigyang proteksyon ang lahat, to serve and protect. Recourse of QOJC, Mr. President, sa gitna ng kaguluhan at presensya ng higit 2,000 na pulis sa QOJC compound at sa kahabaan ng Carlos P. Garcia Highway sa Davao City, isa pong miyembro ng QOJC ang binawian ng buhay at marami naman po ang nagpahayag na sila ay nasaktan dahil sa insidente. Desperado na po ang mga miyembro ng QOJC. Kahit po ang ilang residente ng Davao City ay nalulungkot sa mga nangyayari. Ngayon na lang po kasi ulit nagkaroon ng kaguluhan sa aming syudad. Sa kawalang pag-asa po ng mga miyembro ng QOJC, mukhang napag-iisipan na rin nila na gumamit ng dahas. Kaninang umaga, nakatanggap po ako ng report na mayroon daw mga miyembro ng QOJC ang sinasaktan ang iba nilang miyembro at isinisisi sa mga pulis. Kung totoo po ito, umaapila ako sa pamunuan ng QOJC at mga miyembro nito. Pigilan po natin ang ating mga sarili. Huwag po sanang sumama ang ating loob sa ating mga pulis na na-deploy sa inyong compound. Sila po ay sumusunod lamang sa kautusan ng kinauukulan. Huwag po ninyo sa kanila ibaling ang inyong inis at galit. Sinusubukan lamang po nila na gawin ang kanilang trabaho. Sigurado po ako na mas marami sa kanila ang hindi pinili na ma-deploy sa QOJC compound. Lagi po sana nating piliin ang kapayapaan. Naniwala po ako na likas na mabuti ang mga kasapi ng QOJC. Sana po ay i-exercise ng ating kapulisan ang maximum tolerance. Huwag po natin silang bigyan ng sapat na dahilan upang labanan ang pamahalaan. Sino man pong nakaramdam ng panggigipit ay maaaring humantong sa pagyakap sa karahasan. Sa mga miyembro ng QOJC, huwag po tayong mawala ng pag-asa. Manalig pa rin po tayo na ang mga alagad ng batas ay ipapatupad ng maayos ang batas. Patunay po rito ang naging temporary protection order na inilabas ng Regional Trial Court Branch 15 ng Davao City na nagpapapatigil sa PNP sa kanilang mga ginagawang paglabag sa inyong religious at academic rights. Here is my appeal to the President Bongbong Marcos, Mr. President. Mr. President, It is my fervent hope that my remarks in this August chamber will reach President Bongbong Marcos. To President Bongbong Marcos, I am reaching out to you in all humility. I do so not only as a concerned citizen and a resident of Davao City. I speak also as someone who deeply believes in your commitment to this nation. Marami na po tayong narinig sa balita. Hindi raw po aalis ang PNP dahil may nadidetect silang heartbeat. To that, we raise no objection. We are in opposition to question these technological advancements. And yet, while your PNP is focused on the underground heartbeat, which they suspect belongs to the heart of Pastor Kibuloy, I urge you, dear President of this nation, to listen also to a different sort of heartbeat, the heartbeat of thousands of Filipinos in the midst of this cacophony of sounds. It is our hope that the voices and hearts of these Filipinos will not be drowned out. Among them are the members of the KOJC, deprived of their religious freedoms. Their right to practice their faith is being challenged, and their pleas for support are echoing through our land. Excuse me. Let us also listen to the hearts of thousands of students from Jose Maria College Foundation Incorporated and Lyceum of the Philippines in Davao City, as well as their parents, who are grappling with the disruption of their education. I feel that it is not suitable, it's not justifiable, that in the attempt to serve a warrant of arrest, we also end up arresting our young people's dreams. This is highly unwarranted, Mr. President. Their aspirations hang in the balance as ongoing siege affect their learning environment and their future prospects. Additionally, the closure of Carlos P. Garcia Highway near the airport has caused immense hardship for many Davaoenos. Their daily lives are disrupted and their convenience and well-being are at stake. Pagod na rin ang mga tao. More precisely, pagod na rin ang mga puso ng mga tao. Their weary hearts have resorted to seemingly marching to a different beat, regretting their choice of leadership, losing their hope. Yet, I stand here with unwavering faith in you as the father of our nation. I, for one, still believe in your capacity to care for every Filipino. After all, regardless of where we find ourselves politically, socially, religiously, or even physically, we all share the same heart and spirit. Mr. President, may President Bongbong Marcos continue to listen to the heartbeat of the people, hindi lamang sa sports, kundi sa lahat ng aspeto ng buhay Pilipino. Puso, Mr. President, puso. Maraming salamat po.
Senator Bongo,
Seeking recognition.
Mr. President, I am one with the privileged speech of my colleague Senator Bato in upholding the rule of law and the motto of the PNP, which is to serve and protect. Mr. President, we condemn the excessive use of force. I appeal to our government, especially law enforcers, to be prudent in their actions and remain faithful to their mandate to serve and protect. With the court issuance of a temporary protection order, we pray that peace and normalcy will return to the Kingdom of Jesus Christ compound. The occupation of police personnel in the Kingdom of Jesus Christ compound in Davao City and the terror it brings to the community are causes of concern. While it is the duty of the police to serve an arrest warrant, there is no excuse for using force, creating fear, compromising the safety of civilians, disrupting the peace in the community, and occupying a place of worship. As Vice Chair of the Committee on Peace and Order, I support the intent of the chairperson, Senator Bato de la Rosa, to scrutinize this PNP operation which led to the death and injuries of civilians. Mr. President, I have consistently expressed my full support to our uniformed personnel. Kami po'y sumusuporta sa trabaho ng pulis, basta in line of duty at naayon sa batas. Noong panahon po ni dating Pangulong Duterte, dinoble po ang sahod nila, pinaghirapan natin yon at ako'y patuloy na sumusuporta sa ating mga uniformed personnel. Ang atin naman dito, walang masaktan kung ano lang po yung ayon sa batas at ipatupad ng wala pong excessive use of force. I will not tolerate any form of abuse and will not let our police be weaponized to inflict harm on ordinary citizens. Kaya nga po, lagi kong payo sa mga pulis, just do what is right and be professional. Proteksyonan niyo po ang buhay ng bawat Pilipino. Tugusin niyo po ang mga nananakot at nananamantala, pero huwag kayong pumayag na kayo ang maging sanhi ng takot at maging instrumento ng pananamantala. Mr. President, one life lost is too many. Imbis na maximum tolerance, ginawa na pong maximum terrorism. Hindi naman po terorista ang hinahanap nila, ba't kailangan pagmumukaing battleground ng isang place of worship? Merong mga naiulat na paggamit po ng tear gas at pepper spray sa isang sibilyan na nakikiusap lang po sa mga kapulisan. Ang pagbawal sa ilang miyembro ng legal team ng KOJC makapasok para gawing ang kanilang trabaho at ang pagpigil po sa KOJC Executive Minister mismo na kumustahin ang kanilang kasamahan na nasa loob po ng compound. Ito ay ilan lamang sa nakakabahalang pangyayari kung kaya't ang mga kapwa Dabawenyo natin at iba pang sektor ay tumitindig upang maproteksyonan ang kapakanan ng mga inosenteng kababayang apektado. Samantala, ang aking opisina po ay nakipag-ugnayan rin po sa mga opisyales at sa mga apektadong sibilyan upang magbigay ng anumang tulong, lalong-lalo na po sa mga pasyente na nasaktan, namatayan at nangangailangan. I sympathize with some of the police officers present there in KOJC who have no choice but to follow orders. Marami sa inyo ay pagod at puyat na rin. Nakikiusap ako na magmalasakit naman kayo at maghinay-hinay kayo dahil ayaw nating meron na namang masaktan, dala ng emosyon at kaguluhan dyan ngayon. Sino ba namang gustong makita ang kapwa Pilipino ay nagkakasakitan? To my fellow workers in government, please serve the interests of the Filipino people and protect the rights and welfare of our fellow Filipinos. Just do what is right in the discharge of your delegated powers. After all, sovereignty resides in the people and all government authority emanates from them. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes, Mr. President, the minority leader is seeking the floor to interpellate Senator De La Rosa.
Yes, Mr. President, if the Speaker will allow it, Mr. President, on his speech.
Yes, Mr. President.
Kasi, and I know, Mr. President, that I think he personally went to the place. So,
Yes, Mr. President.
Samantalang ako po binabasa ko lang ang mga news reports. So si Senator De La Rosa po ay talagang nakita niya anong nangyayari sa ground, nakausap niya, I'm sure both sides, for being a former PNP chief, kausap din niya mga pulis, kausap din niya yung mga KOJC and the other Dabawenyos there. Alam niya po ang sitwasyon. So, based on your personal information po, Mr. President, ano po ba ang sitwasyon sa ground? Tama po ba yun na naglagay ng parang kampo ang pulis dun sa lugar? And then pag sinabi natin lugar, is it outside of the gate of the KOJC compound or inside of the gate of the KOJC compound?
Correct, Mr. President. Both inside and outside of KOJC compound, andoon po nakakampo ang ating mga kapulisan.
Inside? So para na pong parang expropriation na po yan. Yung ginawa nilang public property, ang isang private property, kahit pansamantala lamang?
Correct, Mr. President. Tila nga, pakiramdam ng mga tao doon ay meron ng martial law na nangyayari doon sa Davao. Dahil nga, yung compound ay hindi na magamit ng mga may-ari.
Correct.
Mga rightful owner of that compound hindi na magamit dahil binabawalan silang pumasok. At kung sila ay nakapasok, gusto nila lumabas, hindi na sila makapasok uli. So, this is deprivation of private property, Mr. President.
Opo, so ganyan po. Kailan po kayo bumisita ron para at least malaman natin yung petsa kung yung personal knowledge ninyo? Ano po yun?
I was there when the warrant was executed in the early morning of Saturday, Mr. President. I went there around almost 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
25, bale? August 25, Saturday?
Is August 25? 24.
August 24,
24,
Saturday.
Sabado.
Opo, so nakita niyo po yun. So, merong police personnel or force outside of the gate. Siguro ang purpose doon para bawal pumasok ang mga nasa labas. Merong police force or personnel inside the gate. Ang purpose naman nun para bawal lumabas.
Yun, Mr. President.
And ang KOJC naman po, or si Pastor Kibuloy, I know he's represented by good lawyers. Kilala ko nga si Attorney Torion. So, I'm sure nag-reason out na po sila siguro sa commanding officer on the ground. Ano pong binigay na legal basis naman ng police at bakit nila ginagawa yun?
Their reason, Mr. President, for not vacating the area was that meron pa daw silang namumonitor na heartbeat sa ilalim ng lupa, underground. And that could possibly be the heartbeat of Pastor Apollo Kibuloy. And that is the reason why they encamp inside the KOGC compound, because they presume that their service of warrant of arrest is still ongoing. And it was explained properly by the lawyer, Attorney Torion, but still to no avail, Mr. President. So the KOJC officials give in to the wishes of the Philippine National Police. Pumayag sila, Mr. President, sige, kung saan yung gusto hanapin yung heartbeat na yan, puntahan natin. Sama kami sa inyo para malaman natin kung saan yan. Kung saan yung kakalkalin yung mga lupa, gigibain ninyo yung mga structures para mahanap nyo yung heartbeat na yan. Pumayag na lang yung walang magawa na mga taga-KOJC. Dahil gusto lang matapos na, Mr. President. And yet, nung matapos ng lahat, pabalik-balik na, ayaw pa rin umalis sa ating kapulisan doon. Andoon pa rin sila na parabang kanila ng, parang martial law ba, na private property, basta-basta na lang kukunin ng gobyerno at yung may-ari ay hindi na makagamit sa property, Mr. President. Yan ang kinasama ng loob ko, Mr. President. Because I am a retired policeman. I am once the chief of the Philippine National Police. At alam kong maling-mali yung ginagawa nila. But still, why are these people continue to do that despite knowing that they are violating the rule of law? Yun lang ang kinasama ko, Mr. President.
Tapos po ba, nakita nyo rin po na because of that police presence na amounting to a barricade or an encampment, pati po ba yung use ng highway sa labas ng KOGC compound ay apektado din?
Apektado talaga, Mr. President, dahil sinara ng kapulisan yung highway. Siguro,
yung lane, lane na pinakamalapit o yung buong highway?
Yung buong highway,
buong highway.
Airport hanggang dulo, yung buong highway hanggang Panakan, hindi na mapasukan ng sasakyan dahil hinarang ng pulis. Dahil, siguro, to my mind, I am also a policeman. We think the same manner, Mr. President. Alam ko yan, ginawa ng kapulisan para harangin yung posibleng reinforcement dahil takot sila magkakaroon ng people power doon sa KOJC premises. Kaya hinarangan nila na wala makapasok na sasakyan para wala mag-transport ng mga tao doon. So, I am not blaming them for that. Kanya-kanya diskarte yan, Mr. President. Pero, ang problema lang, ang movement ng mga ordinaryong mamamayan from Davao del Norte, Agusan, going towards Davao City, ay masyadong na-hampered, Mr. President. Lalong-lalo na yung pupunta ng airport. Dahil iikot ka pa doon sa napakalayong ikutan mo para makapunta ka sa airport.
Well, yun na nga, Mr. President. Pero kasi yung mga worry nila ng kapulisan, sabi na ating speaker, former chief ng PNP, na-anticipate mo, logical. But it's because you're taking too long to serve the arrest warrant. That is the point.
Yes,
Why,
Mr. President.
why okay, and then ayaw nilang i-abandon yung pag-serve ng arrest warrant because sabi nila may indicator sila na may heartbeat.
Yes,
But
Mr.
what is that machine which tells them that there is a heartbeat? Where is it located, Mr. President?
Well, it should be explained properly,
At
Mr. President.
Paano naging kapani-paniwala na kung saan yung makina at saan daw how many meters away yung heartbeat na nadidetect ng makina?
Yun nga, Mr. President. And Mr. President, to add, sabi ko kanina, may lumabas na restraining order coming from the RTC branch of Davao City. But now, as we speak, per KOJC people, PNP officials won't recognize the temporary protection order issued today by RTC Branch 15 of Davao City. So ganito na palang utak ng ating kapulisan ngayon. May order na ang korte na ibakit nila yung lugar, ayaw sumunod. So, ano na nangyari sa bansa natin, Mr. President?
So siguro,
Ganito na pala ang pag-iisip natin kapulisan, ayaw sumunod ng korte.
do we have a copy of the so-called TPO, Mr. President? Para makita
I don't
natin
have the
yung
copy,
term.
Mr. President. I'm just
Siguro,
relying on
if we can-
information.
if we can
Kakalabas lang
ask-
sa news.
If we can ask our contacts in Davao to send us a copy of the TPO para at least makita natin.
I will
yung
try,
terms.
Mr.
Opo.
President.
Kasi nakakabahala na rin po yan na ino-honor na nga yung service ng warrant of arrest kasi nga issued by a court. And then we have a court now. And I think the court which issued the warrant of arrest is not a Davao court, no? I think it is a Metro Manila court. Tama po ba yun? Pasig. Alam ko pa. Tama po ba? Yung warrant of arrest po. The court which issued the warrant of arrest is not a Davao court. It's a Metro
Yes,
Manila-based
Mr.
court.
President.
Tama?
Correct, Mr. President.
So yun, ino-honor na nga natin sa Davao. At ito na nga, nangyayari na to, disruption of the life of the Davaoenos because it is taking too long to execute the arrest warrant. And then meron naman tayong court order, an order from a local court who is now more familiar with the situation on the ground. And the speaker is telling us that per his information, hindi sinusunod. But the terms of that court order, kailangan siguro makita natin kasi sometimes baka sabihin talaga nila, hindi naman to naka-address sa amin.
Yeah, Mr. President, if I may read, RTC 11th Judicial District, Branch 15, Davao City, in the matter of petition for the writ of amparo, the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, the name above all names incorporated, KOJC, represented by Executive Pastor Marlon Acubo, Jose Maria College Foundation Incorporated, represented by Rosemary Dimag Naong, versus Honorable Benjamin Abalos, in his capacity as the Secretary of the DILG, the Philippine National Police, et al. Temporary protection order. In a verified petition filed last July 1, 2024 by the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, the name above all names, Incorporated, Jose Maria College Foundation, Incorporated, et al., against Benjamin C. Abalos, in his capacity as the Secretary of the Department of Interior and Local Government, Philippine National Police, et al., petitioners allege that the right to life, liberty, and security is violated for threat or threatened with violation by an unlawful act or omission of the respondents. Thus, petitioners seek for the issuance of a writ of amparo among others. In a resolution dated July 1, 2024, the RTC Executive Judge Retrina E. Fuentes found no urgent necessity for the issuance of the writ and ordered the immediate ruffling of the case among the regular court. Accordingly, this petition was raffled to this court on July 3, 2024, and corresponding order was issued on July 8, 2024, directing the respondents to file their comment within 15 days from the receipt hereof. Around 5 o'clock in the morning of August 24, 2024, the PNP 11, armed with warrants of arrest, entered the compound of QOGC and JMCFI located along Philippine-Japan Principe Highway, sa Davao City, in search of Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy and other individuals. Diretso na ako sa decision ng Korte, Mr. President.
Sige po.
Hence, this court, under the current situation, sees the urgency to direct the PNP 11 to immediately cease and desist from any act or omission that threatens the life, liberty, and security as well as the properties of the petitioners. The PNP 11 is hereby ordered to remove all forms of barricades, barriers, or blockades that bar the access to and from the subject compound and hinder petitioners' religious, academic, propriety rights and the pursuit thereof by its officers and members within and surrounding the premises. The office of the Clerk of Court General is directed to immediately serve the order to any senior PNP 11 commanding officers present within the premises of KUGC compound at the regional office. So ordered. Signed. Paano ito iakyat? Akyat mo. Signed by the judge, Mr. President.
Okay. So, Mr. President, sa ganitong sitwasyon kasi dapat siguro ang ating kapulisan will read that with liberality na address sa kanya, and then kung ano man yung nakaka-disrupt sa normal course of life of the people there, bawal, i-dismantle niya. So dapat po ganun. Kung gusto kasi natin ng order at yun ang appeal natin nga sa KOJC members na wag manggulo, wag daanin sa dahas, i-honor ang mga court orders. That's the same standard that we will ask of our police
Correct, Mr.
personnel or
President.
police people.
Correct.
So, the commander on the ground, if I am not mistaken, is named Brigadier General Torre. Police
General
Brigadier
Torre, Mr. President.
Is he Colonel or General?
General.
Brigadier General. I think it's Police General Torre. So siguro, yun na lang po yung appeal natin sa kanya. I mean, the arrest warrant, as far as I know, is valid, can be served at any time of
Any
the
day,
any day,
anywhere.
any week, anywhere, for as long as you see the subject person of the arrest warrant. But I don't think you can claim that you have found the person because you have found a heartbeat, Mr. President. I mean, and then this is a new technology na masyado pang kailangan i-explain mo na sa atin. Gaano kalayo niya na-detect? Asan ba yung, as far as you know, Mr. President, saan yung makina which detects the heartbeat? Nasa highway?
I don't know, Mr. President, but I believe this is the same machine that is used to determine the living individuals during earthquakes.
Earthquake, oh.
Pag may calamity, may earthquakes, may buhay pa na tao na natabunan ng rubbles, Mr. President, yan ang machine na ginagamit.
Kaya nga, so ang ating ibig sabihin nun, they were allowed, the KOJC people or leadership were cooperative enough to honor a court paper, a court order, to allow the police to enter the compound, bringing their machine. Siguro yung machine nila is in close proximity with the ground or the area that they were able to detect a heartbeat. So they should act immediately. They cannot dilly-dally and not act and prolong the enforcement of an arrest warrant amounting to a siege na gusto mong starve na lang yung tao sa yung whoever is that person with the heartbeat na mauhaw, magutom at kayo lumabas. Hindi po pwedeng ganun ang estratehiya po natin. Now, especially now na meron na pong TPO or whatever name we call that order coming from a Davao court. So ganun lang po, sana ang appeal na lang natin sa commander on the ground at saka yung supervisor ng commander or commander ng commander who is the PNP chief plus the DILG secretary. na since umabot na nga kayo dun sa na-detect ninyo yung heartbeat kasi nga yung mga KOJC personnel, people, cooperated to that point na nalapit yung makina sa lupa or sa building because there is a court document. Now that there is another court document, we have to be liberal in its reading and interpretation. At any rate, you will have all the chances in the world kasi valid pa yung arrest warrant na yan to capture, to arrest that person when you actually see him or her. Yun ang legal basis mo to arrest. The legal basis to arrest is the arrest warrant.
Correct, Mr.
When you
President.
see that person. Okay, not when you detect a heartbeat. Okay. And then I'm also worried, Mr. President, itong ang search, itong nabanggit po nating speaker na merong pang searching, they're searching buildings or ano, kunyari in the name of looking for the subject person of the arrest warrant, pero actually it's now amounting to a search. And
Correct.
what they have is an arrest warrant. And I agree with the speaker na iba po yun. An arrest warrant is the legal basis to arrest, but the legal basis to search must be a search warrant.
Correct,
Mr.
Mr. President.
So at ang isa po
And yet, Mr. President, I must inform the body that the KOJC people are very cooperative. Kahit na alam nila na that is beyond the power of the arrest warrant, sumunod pa rin sila, sinamahan nila.
At lumalabas po, just a few more seconds, Mr. President. I know marami pa tayong itatakil ngayon. Lumalabas po dahil sa incidenting ito na in the execution or in the matter of arrest warrants and search warrants, substantive rights are involved or affected. Therefore, siguro mag-open na lang natin ang mind natin na maybe this is a proper subject matter for legislation at hindi lang natin ito ipaubaya sa mga rules of court. Substantive rights, itong pinaka-example eh. So, buksan natin ang ating isip to challenge the existing order na pinaubaya natin ang mga rules about arrest and searches sa rules of court. Entertainin natin ang possibility or ang karapatan na dapat by law ang rules on service of search warrant, service of arrest warrant, execution of these warrants should be provided by law.
I agree, Mr. President. I agree.
So with that, Mr. President, imposible naman natin mapag-usapan kasi lahat dito, but at least naumpisa na natin and we got some facts from our speaker who was really there. Ito, hindi to hearsay, ano to, talagang eyewitness testimony po ito ni Senator Bato de la Rosa. So thank you to our colleague for bringing this to our attention. Pareho namang may mga legal grounds, legal basis, pero worrisome kasi. Sometimes it can be legal or constitutional, but in its implementation, it becomes unconstitutional. Pwede yung ganun eh, Mr. President. So thank you for bringing this up, and siguro we can pursue this matter at the committee level. Mas marami tayong makukuhang facts doon sa committee level. Thank you.
Yes, Mr.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
President. Thank you.
Mr. President,
Mr. President.
Senator Amy Marcos is seeking the floor.
Yes, what's the pleasure of Senator Amy Marcos?
Yes, I'd like to make a quick manifestation, sir.
Yes, you have the floor.
Yes, huli man at maikli, manyaring ipadama ko lamang ang aking pagsasang-ayon sa ating mga mahal na senador mula sa Davao City, Senator De La Rosa at si Senator Go. At nasabi ko na po ngayon at noon, ito ang pangalawa at higit na malubhang pagkakataon na ipinamalas ng PNP ang hindi katanggap-tanggap na puwersa sa bisa ng bagong TRO. Ihinto na ito kaagad-agad at hindi na dapat ito maulit muli. Isang malaking dungis ito sa pulisyang Pilipino na labis kong ikinalulungkot.
Thank you, Senator Amy Marcos, Majority Leader.
Senator Robin Hood Padilla is likewise seeking the floor.
Senator Robin Hood Padilla is recognized.
Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Pangulo at Pinunong Mayorya. Meron lang po ako sanang konting katanungan sa atin pong mahal na senador mula sa Davao, kay Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa.
Yes, Mr. President.
Opo. Ginoong Pangulo, katulad po ng sinabi ng ating minority floor leader, ito na po siguro ang pinakamahalaga sa lahat, na naandoon po kayo sa pinangyarihan. At kumbaga kayo po ay eyewitness sa naganap po doon. Kami po puro balita lang, puro masasabi nating kami po ay walang first hand na information. Kinakatakot ko lang po kasi, Ginoong Pangulo, meron daw pong mga American forces doon sa Davao. Totoo po ba ito?
As far as my visit to the compound is concerned, Mr. President, I was not able to observe any foreign-looking operators, Mr. President.
Opo. Meron po kasing mga lumabas na meron pong mga flag ng Amerikano doon sa mga operatiba. Ano po ba yun? Yung po ba, pinapayagan po ba na ang ating mahal na mga bayaning pulis, mayroong flag ng American flag? Sa
Mali po yun, Mr. President. I saw that post in the social media. Hindi ko man talaga mapagkamalan na totoong Amerikano yung Bisayang-Bisaya yung mukha nung pulis na yun, Mr. President. Pero yung kanyang uniform ay mayroong nakalagay dito na flag ng Amerika.
Opo.
I don't know what's the wisdom behind that. Bakit gusto niyang mag-display ng flag ng Amerika? But I presume he is a SAP trooper from the Special Action Force. Siguro we have to ask the people from PNP SAP, bakit inallow na yung tauhan nila na magsuot ng American flag?
Opo, sapagkat yun po ay nagbibigay ng napakaraming ibig sabihin na hindi po nakakatulong sa ating para po sa akin, sa sitwasyon natin sa bayan natin, hindi po mainam na nagkakaroon ng ganong image na meron ng American forces doon. Kung hindi man American forces, bakit siya may flag ng Amerika? Tayo po ay naninindigan na tayo ay independent. Tayo po ay may soberenya. At ang alam niyo po, ang kinakatakot lang po natin kasi dito, ay magkaroon po ito ng hindi magandang mensahe doon sa mga tao sa Davao. Hindi po maganda. At gusto ko ramang din pong palakasin itong gusto kong sabihin. Alam niyo po, nabanggit niyo po kanina na marami na tayong mga pagkakataon na tayo humahanap ng mga terorista, mga pinaghahanap ng batas. Kailanman hindi po tayo nagkaroon ng ilang libong pulis po?
Per estimates of some people in the area, around 3,000. But meron ding estimate na more than 2,000. But still, Mr. President, 2,000 is very big enough. I have never seen an operation na gumamit ng 2,000 against a very dreaded terrorist. Wala po, Mr. President. Kahit na umaatake tayo sa mga kampo ng mga MILF noon, BIFF, or kampo ng NPA, hindi po tayo nakaka-generate ng 2,000, Mr. President. The most that I was able to, when I was company commander, siguro, maximum na yung umabot tayo ng mga 700. Kasama na dyan yung Philippine Army, Philippine Constabulary, kasama yung Integrated National Police, pati CAPGO, pati Army, siguro abot sa mga 700 to 800. Yung malaking pursa na yun ng NPA, ang kinakalaban natin, na aabot din sa more than 1,000 na numbers. So, I don't know, with this one person only, they were able to dedicate, until now, as we speak, andun pa rin yung mga trupa na ganun kadami. I don't know what's the purpose. Is it, are they just flexing their muscle that they want to send the message that we are in charge and we can bully you anytime we want? I hope I'm wrong, Mr. President. sana hindi naman ganun dahil ang mga tao sa Davao ay very peace-loving. Noon pa yan, Mr. President, mahal na ang kapulisan. Mahal na nila ang mga pulis. Ngayon lang na medyo nagbago ang pagtingin lang sa pulis na bakit ganun. So I pity those policemen na nandoon ngayon na sila rin ay labag sa kalooban nila yung ginagawa nila, but still, they are professional enough to follow orders coming from their superiors. And I am sure, not even General Torre can say that he's acting only on his own. Because you cannot call the support of other regions if you are only the regional director. Walang mangyayaring suporta coming from other regions. So the order must be coming from above. Presumably, from General Marbel himself, the Chief PNP. Dahil that is halos buong Mindanao na operasyon yun eh. Region 10, 11, 12, 13. 4 na region, nagpapadala ng contingent na almost 300 to 500 na mga pulis. So, naawa lang ko sa mga pulis, Mr. President. I pity them dahil pagod, walang matulugan, walang masiaran. Kasi kung nandoon ka, nakahiga ka sa loob ng kingdom, makita mo, napakaganda ng lugar. Very beautiful place. At kung ikaw ay pulis ay naiihi na, hindi mo alam kung saan ka iihi, kung saan ka dudumi. Dahil kaganda ng lugar. Masaya nga kang babuyin yung lugar. Dahil sacred ground yan. Hallowed ground na yan as far as KOJC people are concerned. So, that's the problem right now, Mr. President.
Maraming salamat po. Ang akin pong huling mungkahi lang, hindi na po ito tanong, kundi susundan ko lang po yung sinabi nyo. Ang may warrant po dito ay iilan lamang na tao. Huwag naman sana na sa nakikita ko at nakikita ng maraming tao, buong KGOC, parang sila lahat ay may warrant na sa mga nangyayari po. Sana po lagi po nating tandaan na ito pong KGOC compound ay mga taong naniniwala po sa Diyos, sumasamba sa Diyos, sila po ay nagpapalaganap ng kapayapaan, pagmamahal sa kapwa. Huwag naman po sana maging president ito na palaging may ganitong pangyayari ng ating kapulisan ay gagawa ng ganitong bagay sa hindi lamang po sa KGOC, sa iba pang mga ibang religion, na wag naman po sanang makasanayan nito dahil doble sakit po ito. Doble sakit po ito para sa mga taong nagagawa lang ay manalangin, ipagdasal ang kapwa, ipalaganap ang salita ng Diyos kapag sila po ay tatratuhin na parang mga kriminal. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Mr. President.